what's up guys, it's Bunny. I'm back again for a whole new video. I hope the Bunny gang is ready for this. Um Pretty much this video is going to be about like how to get organized, because I started to notice the more I put like on my schedule, the harder it is to like stay organized and be able to like accomplish like certain things in my day. Either I'm like so tired and exhausted and don't even want to do like the most basic things, or I'm so like not in the mood to do certain things even if I do have the free time to do it, that I'm just kind of like whatever, like I'll get to it when I get to it. And me personally, um I'm pretty much going to give you like a couple basic steps that might help you as far as like getting organized if you have a lot on your plate. It's like hard to handle. Pretty much one of them is like really take the time to think about what you really need to get done. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of things that you need to do in your day, obviously, especially if you work, go to school, or whatever. And then you do other things in your leisure time that are considered more of a hobby that you do for fun or whatever. But you need to essentially plan out what's more important out of your day compared to something else. Like you need to say to yourself like, oh, okay, I need to do this because it's more important and it's a priority, and you need to decide to do that first before you do maybe, let's say for example, a hobby you like to do. Let's say a hobby for you is playing video games. That should be like last on your list if you have something more important to take care of. The next thing you need to do is you need to decide if you need to make yourself a list, like a to-do list of things that need to be done or don't need to be done, and go about that to-do list and just slowly check off your to-do list as you finish whatever you need to finish. Like for example, the best thing you can do is probably like give yourself the most stuff to do during the beginning of the week, like between like Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So then that way, hopefully by like Thursday, Friday, your day kind of just like weans out and just kind of like slowly like dies out. So then that way you don't have so much to do by the time you get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? So then that way you can have the weekend to yourself, and you don't have to stress out so much about things that you need to do that you haven't made time to do. The next thing is, once you figure out what's most important, and if you decide to do a to-do list, and when you need to figure out when to do what during the week, you need to actually make time to do these things. You can't just like make a to-do list or say, oh, I need to do this or I need to get this done, and then never get around to doing it and procrastinate. I know I'm big on the whole procrastination thing. Luckily for me, if it's something that's really, really important, even if I do procrastinate on it, I do eventually get to it. If it's something that's not as important but needs to get done, or something I need to do or whatever, I'll do it, but like it'll be more delayed. But that's not really a good habit to have, because the busier you get and the older you get with more stuff to do, the whole doing that whole procrastination thing, it only makes things harder as far as finishing things that you need to finish. And it just makes your days longer and drag on the more you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Because I know I'm big on that. Like, especially if it's something that's not like a, oh, I need to do it today type of thing. Because I'll be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Um, Sometimes I even do that with stuff that's like important. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll do it tomorrow. But then I have to do it like last minute and just kind of concoct it together after like maybe like 2 hours of sleep and knowing that I have a busy day ahead of me. Um, the next thing is just be prepared that not everything is going to go your way. Like when you plan something out, like if you plan out your day, know for a fact that even though you like made yourself a to-do list, or you said, oh, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that or whatever, or you know, you want to get this done by Monday or by Friday or Thursday or whatever day of the week that you want to get something in particular done, just know for a fact that you're never nothing is ever going to go exactly the way you plan, no matter how often you plan it out or how many to-do lists you make for yourself. And once you put that in your head, and if something doesn't go your way, you won't stress out about it as much, because you'll be prepared for the fact that things may go left, or something may be thrown at you out the blue that you weren't ready for. Because the one thing I noticed is you don't want to be like too organized with it, and you don't want to be too like uptight with the schedule that you set for yourself, because if you are, you're going to freak out when things don't go your way, or when something that you planned, you wanted to get it done at 6 p.m., but you can't get it done at 6 p.m. because of something else came up that has to be done that's just as important, but you have to delay something, and then you stress out. Because I also noticed that people who organize their life to a T, like almost as if their life is like a to-do list, they freak out a lot when something doesn't go their way, or when something has to go left or whatever, and they don't know how to go around the fact that their schedule isn't going to be like cookie cutter and like set in stone and work out the way they planned all the time. And that's a big thing that you have to like know to get used to once you start getting older and you start working a job, or you're going to school, or you have multiple hobbies that you like to do. Once you get that in your head, things that you have to do, even if you don't get everything done in your day, become genuinely easier, because it's less stressful, because of the fact that you know that maybe when you go to do whatever it is you plan on doing, you prepare yourself mentally, like, oh, something might happen, so let me be prepared for anything. Now, that's not saying go into the situation, you know, preparing for the worst, but as going into the situation being prepared for anything to happen, so that way you can come up with a game plan of how to get out of that situation. And the next best thing is, you know, pretty much go with the flow. You know, be flexible. You have to be very flexible when it comes to managing and formulating your schedule. You can't be one of those people that expect your schedule to be one way, and if it goes another way, you freak out and everything's all, you know, your whole day is ruined and everything is all over. You have to be very flexible with it and willing to compromise with your day, because you never know what someone is going to throw at you, whether it's work, school, or whatever, your home life, anything. Anybody can throw anything at you at any given time. You just have to be mentally prepared for it. And to be honest, the last final thing that I have to say about that is that's just part of being an adult. Like, you just have to know how to plan your day and just get used to twists and turns that you weren't prepared for. Because let's be honest, once you get past a certain age, nothing is as smooth as it seems as when you're a child. When you're a child, everything seems like easygoing, smooth. All you gotta do is, you know, do basic things, and pretty much your parents take care of everything else. Once you establish that and you get used to things are not going to be 100% like cookie cutter, I feel like you'll be golden. I mean, no one has the answers to everything. I don't have the answers to everything, but I figured I'd give you guys, you know, a little organization type. Pretty much, you know, I didn't mention this in the beginning of the video, but this is like how to get organized, you know, or how to give you an idea of how to get organized, or how to be content with being a little bit more organized. because me, I kind of just go with the flow and just kind of do whatever needs to be done and just do it. I don't really plan it out. I don't really put in a calendar or use like a calendar app or anything like that to say, oh, this is what I have to do today. I just go with the flow. Now, sometimes going with the flow is a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, because you never know when you need to plan for something. And if you don't have it planned out and you're just kind of going with the flow and winging it, you could kind of be more laid back and be like, oh, well, I'll get to it when I get to it. So, to avoid that procrastination, you know, try to think about how, one of the things that you might want to do is try to think about how you need to reflect on your organizational skills and what you need to do to make your organization a little bit better and a little bit easier, and and just kind of like go with the flow of things when it comes to that. Honestly, there's nothing else I could really add to it. What the best thing to do, the last thing that I'm gonna add before I close out this video, the best thing to do is probably, I would say probably like, make sure you're not too stressed when it comes to planning out your day. Because the one thing I notice is when you get really stressed about things you have to do or don't do, you kind of freak out and your day doesn't go the way you planned for your day to go. And your day actually goes worse because you're stressing out. So try not to stress. And I'm going to leave you with that. I'm Bunny. I hope the Bunny Gang enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.